Today I would like to talk to you about anxiety, stress and depression. If you are suffering from stress, you're not alone. Stress, anxiety and depression are very commonplace in the UK today. 1 in 10 people in the UK will experience a disabling anxiety disorder at some point in their life. 1 in 5 people in the UK will experience depression in their lifetime. And combined, stress, anxiety and depression cost this country 13.5 million lost working days in a year. A lot of people ask me what the difference is between the 3 states of mind and body. Many times anxiety and stress are interchangeable. So you may feel anxious but describe yourself as stressed and vice versa. Most people won't know the difference between stress, anxiety and depression. So I'll explain the differences. Firstly, stress. This is the natural response to the pressures and demands that you face in your daily life. It's about how you cope with these various pressures that is key to whether you experience stress or not. When we feel overwhelmed or that we cannot cope, the body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, and adrenaline. In a way, stress is all about the body's response to dangerous situations or a perception of danger, which could be any stress-inducing event. Too much cortisol can have a long-term impact on your memory, your learning, and actually your immune system. Now, all this sounds really bad, but in fact, stress is very necessary in our lives. So we need a certain amount of stress in our body to get out of bed in the morning and to drive us towards our goals. It only really becomes a problem when things become overwhelming and you get the feeling that you simply cannot cope. In extreme situations like this, our inbuilt response is the stress response, and it's often called the fight or flight response. This is a protective response which is triggered by dangerous or a perceived dangerous situation. The response readies our body to fight in a situation or to escape a situation by releasing certain chemicals such as adrenaline. When our breathing becomes very prominent, our hearts race, we get sweaty, our muscles can ache. As this is a defense mechanism, we can't really get rid of it, but we can train the response to respond in real dangerous situations rather than a perception of a dangerous situation. Now, with anxiety, it's slightly different, but anxiety is a byproduct of stress. We will mainly have an overwhelming sense of fear and dread. This often comes across as worry, and our ability to worry makes us unique within the animal world. When we worry, we bring a thought process through, and we try our best to solve something that hasn't happened yet. And very often we use our imagination in negative ways to foresee the worst possible outcome. In other words, we see things the way we fear they will be, and not the way we would like them to be. Anxiety often leads to a person avoiding certain situations and things, the things that cause the anxiousness. So if giving a speech is required at work, the individual may spend many days worrying about it, seeing it go the worst possible way. It becomes so intense that the only way they can remove the anxiety is to avoid the situation completely. Unfortunately, this only increases the anxiety. Anxiety can range from intensity, from mild, occasional anxiety to intense anxiousness and even panic attacks. The body will behave in much the same way as in the stress response. Fast beating heart, shallow breathing, but there may also be nausea, and sometimes high anxiety can cause a person to be sick and may even cause a person to feel a sense of unreality, a kind of spaced out feeling. Sometimes stress and anxiety can develop into depression. When we have an overriding feeling of not being able to cope with life, we can begin to feel very, very low, which can then lead to a person to feel a sense of hopelessness and desperation. We lose interest in the things that used to give us pleasure and joy. We lose energy and we lose our drive in life. Other symptoms are disrupted sleep, poor appetite, tiredness, poor concentration, difficulty in making decisions. We're not really sure what causes depression. It may be triggered by significant life events such as redundancy, relationship problems, or a bereavement. But it can affect absolutely anyone at any time. And most of us will have moments in our lives when we feel very low. But depression is normally diagnosed when a period of low feeling lasts several weeks. Now, it's always important to get checked out by your GP if you feel any of these symptoms. The important thing to remember is that anxiety, stress, and depression can be treated with the right help. In my next webcast, Stress Busting Exercises, I'll give you some great, quick, easy strategies to reduce stress, calm the mind down for when you need to refocus quickly.